Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. I don't know if I want to talk now after all that. But the problem is I think we're looking in the wrong direction. It's not Trudy's deal. She operates it for you. You make the decisions. Y'all approved everything. You approve the money. You approve everything. You make the rules. You don't have to be asking about how to do stuff. You write it down and pass it. They got to do it, and you check on it. So let me get back. So we're looking in the wrong direction as far as I'm concerned because the election system is complicated. It's labor-intensive and very fragile. However, that doesn't make any difference because people have to vote. This society and our country is based on everybody voting. And I hope you can see from this election that one vote matters. It doesn't matter if you're in the south of the county or you're in the north of the county, how much it costs to operate the voting place. That's what y'all put the money up for. Operate them all so that there's no chance of the guy that's going to break that tie or wherever it is going to be left out, or that woman's going to be left out. Don't do that. Set it up so there's no way to fail it. And the one thing in the discussion I think y'all are missing is that the primary and the runoff things are different rules. They're not the same rules. The primary elections or general elections are 2 weeks early voting. The runoff is 1 week. And they have 5 places to vote, and I think y'all approve the places to vote in the early voting, don't you?
Yes.
No? Okay. So it's not the chairs or any party. It's you guys. Y'all make the final decision, whatever it is. And so those rules need to be made the same so that we're consistent. So you don't have to worry about what's open, what's closed, or how to get there. Then you're going to have y'all need to pass some new rules. You need to have somebody that goes around and check the polling places to make sure they can get in there. You know, the traffic changes all the time. All the time. So as far as I'm concerned, the most important thing that you do, other than the police and fire, is make sure people can vote. Make sure everybody that wants to vote can vote, and they don't have to be driven somewhere else or walk somewhere else, that they can go to the place they've been used to voting and vote. Now, the rules are complicated, and that's part of the problem, and that's what I think y'all need to work on clearly. Because we're talking about, well, this was open last time, that was closed last time, but I went through and checked what was open and what was closed in general elections, and what I found was on the general election in November, there were 24 polling places. I may have miscounted, it might have been 25. Anyway. And then in the primary, there was 24, 25 places. And in the special election, there was 5. And in the runoff, there was 5. Now, the runoff is very critical because it's hard to get people out to vote, and the vote can be very, very slim, very, very slim margin. So it seems to me if you got 25 in general, you ought to have 50 in the runoff to make sure people are encouraged to get out there and vote. And the problem is there's many ways to skew the results of election. And one is keep people out of the polls. And that's kind of what it looks like. You're keeping people out of the polls, and that skews the election the way you want it to be. So I highly recommend that all the polling places be funded. I mean, that's the most important thing. You know, there's a lot of decisions you make about what to fund. There can't be any more important decision than that. And the low turnout on these elections probably are due to the limited polling places. And so when you look at where they are, each voter has to be treated the same. One guy can't walk 10 miles or the other guy 2 miles or whatever. It's got to be the same because you want to encourage everybody to get there and have that chance to vote. Let me see. And I guess this would have never come to light if the runoff elections hadn't been so close. They were close in those two, especially the commissioners. They're very, very close. And so people started saying, why is that? And that's when these issues started coming up. And I appreciate what y'all brought out today, and I appreciate all the work y'all have done, but I think the money is the problem. I think you've got to have enough money in the system to make it work. Everything works like that with money. And so if we hadn't had the elections, maybe 1 vote different or 4 votes different, we wouldn't be talking about this. Thank you very much. I hope you can solve this problem.
Thank you, Mike. Amy Alg. Is Amy Alg here? Algie?
She had to leave to go pick up children.
Okay.